It's KO97. What's up? Let's go. This BMW is on the left lane going straight, but it seems like he's a little lost and doesn't know where he wants to go. And while trying to make out his target, paying attention to others is very optional. And we get another BMW doing that just as nicely. Oh yeah, trying to pass cyclists in a blind corner. Did you find your license in a cereal box? Pointless beyond belief, but it does get even more pointless than this. Our man saw in the rearview mirror that this BMW then turned right merely seconds later. It is so utterly nonsensical. Do we need to argue who's at fault here? Apparently, the passenger of this car thought that it's us and threw some pretty nasty insults after our man. Oh well, sure there are a few obstacles in between Christian and the car, but we could see the car and driver quite a while before, so he could see us. Come on, this isn't so hard. Generally, driving safely isn't so hard when you got just a bit of patience, so that you won't start to pass a quadrillion cars before a blind corner. I wonder what is going on in the heads of such people. I am imagining nothing else but a walnut rolling around in some wide open, empty space. Because it must come from somewhere that people need to pass whatever it takes, like here passing a driving school over quite an amount of keep-out areas and solid lines. This right lane here connects the last entry and next exit to this freeway and is 1.5 kilometers long, so you should be able to find an appropriate spot to merge into traffic, right? I personally wouldn't honk in such cases. I would just get off the gas and don't waste any energy into getting pissed. Still, the honk was deserved, and so it's ridiculous how people will react with brake checking to this. I can't tell about your country, but brake checking here is a goddamn coercion and results in the law stuffing its boots so far up your back that you can start tasting leather. Just earlier this year, this from the follow-up clip was reported for his actions, and this resulted in heavy fines and many months of him walking. Whoever is such a nasty human being to do such a thing, you fucking deserve it. We are with Aaron here, and we are entering the exit for getting onto another road. He can't take the outer right lane because, you see, there isn't really space for squeezing in. Now, if you listen closely, you can hear a synapse of that driver there pop, for whatever reason.
Sag mal, wie steigt? Also mit allem Rechten und mal, aber mit sowas nicht, du.
Yeah, very much right. This white van there wanted to get on the left lane, but gladly recognized this lunatic in the last second. Driving with Tim over the freeway, and it looks like there was happening some accident here. Not necessarily an accident, what you see here are the remains of a truck tire, which runs on serious air pressure, and when this goes off, it demolishes quite a few other parts around it. And if you want a good example how to deal with such a situation, just look at this guy, walking behind the barrier with his safety vest on and making this warning triangle visible. Free and relevant education right there. However, let's not be too positive here and get back to the idiocy. There is a jam on the other side, but actually not on ours.
Warum ist jetzt hier langsamer? Sag mal, sind ihr bescheuert? Gott, Alter! Was ist denn los mit euch? Hört auf zu Gaffe!
It's simply the monkeys driving around like usually. When they see a jam or maybe a squad car, they're like, OMG, need to look, maybe gonna see corpse or something. And traffic slows down even when there is no obstacles on our side of the freeway. We are hovering over the Autobahn at around 120 kph. On the left side, a BMW and a Land Rover are entering the frame. We don't know if there was anything going on between them beforehand, but now the Land Rover wants to pass the BMW to the right, but the BMW thinks otherwise and they are having a dance. I really don't know what's up there, but the BMW goes for some crazy maneuvers and slows the other guy down to approximately 70 kph. At some point, their primate brains seem to have vented enough and the dance is over. Such behavior will always remain a mystery to me. My brain is probably not ancient enough. speed limit is 50 kph here, however, we are at 30.
Sag mal, bescheuert oder was?
Yeah, crazy kiddos, they do stupid stuff. And if our man would have been at the speed limit, there might be one kiddo less now. Now we are driving through town in a truck, and when there is less road space due to parking cars and the like, truckers always have the short straw to get through a narrow spot without unintentionally blocking somebody off. But that is not gonna be an issue, because we are surrounded by respectful and considerate people in traffic. Are you believing me when I say that? Sure, why would you first let that truck get out of that narrow street spot? Just place yourself wonderfully in the way and don't even back it up. It's a so much better idea to push your tires up that sharp curb.
Ich stehe da schon 5 Minuten, bisschen mitdenken, ne?
Mark is bus driver, and he often has the same issue as truck drivers have, since it's a big vehicle. But the driver ahead of us thinks ahead and flashes at us so that the bus can work itself through this obviously narrow bit of street. It looks like a really nice interaction of people in traffic, but there's always gonna be the people who are not so good at using their brain. Car drivers need to be aware how driving around is so much tougher with large vehicles. So I am asking all of you guys to be as considerate as humanly possible with everyone who's driving large vehicles like trucks and buses. Do you know those clips from the US and Russia where some obstructed turn always results in a crash? Not so in good old Germany, where people are driving so much better than anywhere else. And while this is meant to be very sarcastic, I am afraid this isn't even so far away from the truth, because even though our people are making pretty much enough mistakes, they're altogether turning out far less fatal and otherwise critical than we usually get to see from the origins of road chaos. Standing at a light, it turns green, so you can just go, right? Not as long as Scooter Dude can help it. Well, that was a justified full stop for keeping our mirrors in one piece. Oh look, a bike lane to the right. Gotta love those people parking wherever they like and not giving a single f*** about rolling traffic. And I don't know if that driver now wants to retaliate for the honk or is just a general douchebag behind the wheel. But only seconds later, he's back. Next to us to the right is a driver complaining to somebody about their driving. The thing is, you should only complain to somebody about something if you know what you're talking about. I am leaving the conclusion of this situation to you.
Ja, was willst du erwarten, ey? Wow. Glückwunsch, ey. Gleich mal speichern.
What a nice and calm drive on the freeway. Well, he might not be that ridiculously fast, but still it's fair to insert an organ donor joke here. We are on the freeway, and to the right is an acceleration lane, on which cars enter the freeway. And the big surprise with acceleration lanes is that you can accelerate on them for safely merging into fast traffic. Seems like this driver always skipped those lessons in driving school, and he moves onto the freeway at around 50 kph, that is in-town speed. And weird enough, no, he still doesn't accelerate and doesn't make it past 60, which is the lowest legal speed for any vehicles on the Autobahn in the first place. This whole ordeal looked suspicious to the camera driver, which is why he rather didn't run past this guy. Additionally, we got the cops behind us, but they seem not to care and follow us, exiting the freeway. But then, a little late, they still get the idea that this other driver could be a little hazardous in traffic out there. So with horn and lights, back onto the freeway and getting a hold of him. You should always be considerate and leave proper space to other vehicles in traffic, especially to trucks, which would easily push a car out of the way. People often pull into exits very late because so many of them seem to have issues with judging distances. These clips here don't look that bad, but in person it is a lot closer. because the wide-angle lenses of dashcams make everything seem like it's a lot further away. Our man wants to do a U-turn, runs his indicator, and then... no hit, but still. You know those keep-out areas. Even the camera driver is partially running it, but he is no competition to this other driver ahead of him. Traffic isn't moving, and those two BMW guys are having a conversation. In this situation here, not an issue really. But keeping the conversation going over the turn lane of oncoming traffic, how little of a crap can you give? Who would win when a bike fights a truck?
Ey, das gibt's nicht.
This camera driver somehow seems to be attracting cyclists.
So, jetzt hat sich beinahe mit seinem Fahrrad auf die gelegt.
Weil er geträumt hat.
Turning over several lanes? Man, there's gotta be some cheap gas here. We are so gifted. Some situations on the freeway are just unfortunate. You are on the left lane, passing cars with appropriate speed, and suddenly there appears a speed limit. So what to do? Going for braking and moving right instantly, or finishing your passing? Certainly the speed limit counts for all lanes, so when you keep going the limit on the left lane, things should be fine, shouldn't they? Apparently, this BMW thinks differently and aggressively wants us to get out of his way. Where is Dennis supposed to go? Push that other car out of its lane? This guy is ridiculous. With his flashing and driving criminally close to us, he's showing a grade A coercion, and boy am I asking for karma cops. But no karma cops here. I can only live in the hope that he will get that encounter one day. Hopefully before he kills somebody. And about driving criminally close, this here is on a whole different level of stupid. But not all traffic issues are coming down to somebody being stupid. Turns out there was some object on the road, and when the truck ran over it, it got snapped up and damaged the air pressure lines of the truck's brakes. Truck brakes without pressure are simply fully locking up, and that is what instantly happened here. This goes to show you that proper distance is important at any moment while driving, because even when there seems to be nothing that could motivate any driver to be braking, there can always happen random things that require your distance, as seen in this case. I hope you got educated properly, because time's over. And remember that thing where you can click on that thing on the screen, and you can also select that other thing where you will find many other things of entertainment. Alright? Am I being clear enough? Okay, good. I'm out now. See you next week.